Hello everyone, in today's video, we are on day 12 to Journey to Roach's Champion, and we're going to start it out with a small segment. We did a Q&A yesterday. We're going to be talking about some recent tweets, really important details about the journey. So I'm trying to play, Grand Gate Chess, which is an open tournament. As you can see, it's an open tournament. It is a $20,000 prize fund, 20,000 first prize, and it's an open event. So I would assume that if it's an open event, um, you know, anyone can play. So I've registered on their website, and basically once you register, you get an email saying that you need to send a bank transfer to confirm your registration. But obviously for grandmasters, it even says in the email entry zero. So I sent them a couple of emails. I didn't get a reply. Again, it's possible they're just busy. I'm not trying to attack the tournament. I just would love to play. This is not like an attack of the tournament. I just really want to play. Um, uh, so I sent them a bank transfer of like 100 euros just so they would see it and maybe be reminded to like add me to the list. So I did that. Some Twitter replies quite interesting. Someone says, "It seems you're totally unwanted, Hans. Elite tournaments run too much risk, including through scandal." Well, I don't know about that. I think that there's not much of a scandal every week. There was an unfortunate incident in St. Louis, but other than that, not many scandals that I'm causing. At least someone said how these adults are acting. Let Hans play chess. Well, I don't know. The tournament could just be busy and didn't see it. But I assume that if I tweet at them twice, they should see it, right? Or reply to it. This person. I just want to say something, by the way. Like this person, Shadok, has been replying to a lot of my tweets. Let me show you guys. Oh, followed by Chess Bay. Interesting. And just by the way, guys, like Hikaru. This is one of Hikaru's moderators, and I found it very funny that like Hikaru's moderators are replying to my tweets. Let me find it. So here, like, write him a letter demanding to know why he's not invited to your game. Like all of my replies is just like Hikaru's moderators. Let me find the next one. Um, um, mm, 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 mm. um, Let me see. I can't find it. Anyways, I just thought that was funny. And then this is another video which I address sort of tournament organizers and leagues. So obviously, right now, since I'm unable to play in America, essentially like in any strong event in America, um, I need to play against players of my rating, so that I can gain rating, right? Like if I play against people with super low ratings, the risk to reward ratio is so insane that it's quite difficult. So if you are a viewer of this, I don't know how many viewers are in leagues. I'm looking to join the Bundesliga. So a lot of I'm based in Europe right now. I'm living in Europe, and as you guys can probably figure out, and a lot of these European GMs make a living from playing like leagues. Like they play the Bundesliga, they play the Austrian Bundesliga, then they play. I'm in the French league, thankfully. Then they play, the Polish league, the Spanish league. There's the Croatian league, a Romanian, like all the these grandmasters who are like 26, high 2600s, who can't get many invitations to like super good tournaments. They rely on these leagues for money and also for like playing strong events. So I'm gonna have to try and essentially get into like all these strong leagues. To gain as much rating as I can. And we discussed the daily routine yesterday. Obviously, Hikaru is still dodging my challenges. I think there is a reply to this from another one of Hikaru's moderators. Let me see. Yes, this was the funny one. Yes, but I don't know. The YouTube comments are much better than the Twitter comments. It's quite funny to see. But anyways, that's just an update on the tournament situation. It is February 11th. We are just 6 days away from Tunisia. I cannot wait for that tournament. I'm preparing so hard for that tournament. So in today's video, we're going to be analyzing a game of mine against Vasily Ivanchuk. Some of you, I don't know how much you guys follow me. Actually, let me bring this back. Some of you might follow me. Back in November, I won the Tournament of Peace by a margin of 3 points. As you can see here, yes. So I won this tournament with a 29.46 performance rating, the highest performance rating um, of the entire year. Um, and 53 years, before Fischer won the exact same tournament. So that was very meaningful to me, and hopefully a bit of foreshadowing. So we're going to be showing my game against Vasily Ivanchuk, which, if you don't know, is an absolute living legend, one of the top players in the world for many, many years. People say he's like, one of the best players to not become world champion. Super, super strong player, a real sort of classy player, and uh, I've been playing chess for since before I was born. So this is, I think, one of the best games I've ever played in my life. Okay, so I'm using ChessBase here just because it's easier. E5. I actually could have used chess.com, but I think ChessBase is, I'm not a chess.com ambassador yet, guys. Drop a like in the comments. Should I become a chess.com official streamer like Hikaru? Stream Arena Kings, bullet. So he plays the Petrov. I take the pawn. He takes my pawn. I bring the bishop in. Typical Petrov setup. He goes knight c6. The typical developing ways to play bishop d6, you know, and, it goes like castles, castles, c4, c6, and then basically, black goes bishop f5, knight d7, or maybe bishop g4. Knight can go to a6 to b4 also. Oops. But he goes knight c6. Castles, point being, he wants to go bishop e7. Um, again, this is the most direct way of developing, but obviously, the knight on c6, as we'll see later in the game, is not ideally placed. Play knight d2, takes, trading the knights. Bishop g4, c3, castles. So in this position, he's obviously got this strong pin on the knight. But, this knight on c6 isn't ideal. The bishop on d6, we'll see if it makes it to d6. Obviously, if black can play bishop d6, 97, maneuver the knight, play c6, then the position is sort of equalized. I go h3, g3. The point being that I want to play king g2 and queen c2. So I want to play queen c2, obviously, but I don't want to double my pawns. So I go g3, preparing king g2, and then to go queen c2. And then I can put some pressure, maybe. So queen d7, attack the pawn, king g2, bishop g6. And it's actually funny that, so after bishop g6, I played bishop f4. And it's funny that I had somewhat expected him to play Petrov, but Ivanchuk is just such a, um, he plays everything, and he's completely unpredictable. So I could not reasonably prepare for everything that he was going to play. So somehow I was like, okay, I think Petrov is coming, but he was also playing French. Like I just really didn't know. So I briefly took Petrov. But the reason why I actually knew this line was that I was playing um, a, a, uh, uh, a tournament in Sharjah uh, last May 2023, and next to my board, there was a game where Nihal Sarin was white against Yuan Yi, and they had followed this exact position, and I noticed that, like, after bishop b4 is the best move, and after rook e1 you must play f5. And I remembered this is how their game went, and they blitzed it all out. It was like, okay, boring draw. But I remembered sitting next to this game, and I briefly like analyzed the game, just like right after, and I remembered some like small details. But I thought, if he's not obviously the most Petrov expert, so I thought it's difficult if he doesn't know. So he plays bishop takes d3, takes, um, bishop g6. Now I go knight g5, provoking g6. Obviously, if I take first and then knight g5, he can go queen g6. So I want to provoke g6. Obviously, no h6 because of me. So g6, I take which rook e1, rook e1, h4. So now, of course, we have some bit of tango between these two knights. This knight is slightly misplaced. I have obviously one weakness that I've provoked, and I've also have a form of getting h5 and opening on the h file. So he goes knight d8, h5, knight e6, knight f3. And now the knight actually looks fine on e6, but it's really not that great. And the knight actually should have been brought to f5, where it sort of, it keeps the e file open. Black can try to liquidate on the e file. And, the less pieces on the board, the less attacking possibilities I'll have. So he goes like this. I go back. He goes c6. I go rook h1, preparing some sort of attack. He plays g5. Play knight d5. He plays h6. And this is a moment where I really, really am so proud of myself. It was really, really a special thing. So in this moment, after 95 h6, I had really felt like all the momentum was with me, and that I really should have a very strong breakthrough. I spent so much time. Um, I had been looking at all these different possibilities. I thought, okay, maybe I should go b3, c4. Obviously, my opponent's idea is to play, knight g7, and this pawn could be potential weakness. And it's actually funny that this knight on g7, this pawn on h5, reminds me of a blitz game that I analyzed in one of my videos, where there was actually a pawn on a5, a pawn on b5, a pawn on a6, and a knight on b3, and a knight on b7. And that position, that pawn on a5 became a weakness. However, it was an endgame with the king and rook. And again, you probably are not following this, but I'll have my editor input a photo of that position from the previous game. So this just shows, us chess players recognize these patterns, So h5 could be potential weakness, but I thought to myself, okay, like I must punish this. This has to be bad. So I really dug deep and I found, okay, queen f5. Sometimes when you need to punish your opponent, you need to go as direct as possible. So I thought, okay, obviously knight g4 is a threat, even queen f6 is a threat, so must go knight g7. Then okay, I go queen d7. I'm attacking two things, right? Okay, if you go like, here you try to protect, I take the pawn. You don't really want to go back. And that comes here. So okay, you take the rook, I take, he takes. And from a distance, like when you're starting from this position, obviously you can't move the piece, you have to visualize. From the distance, I realized, wait, in this position, if I take, he goes here, 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 and I don't think I have enough. There are enough pieces, but then I realized, wait, I have knight f6 check. The king, intermezzo, and I take. And then I realized, wait. First of all, the rook is about to penetrate, so you have to block. Okay, then I go here. And then I realized, wait, the knight is stuck, can't move. So then I go knight here. Then I go rook f5, then I go rook f6. And then the rook will be stuck. And then I go f4. And then in combination with some a3, I have some c4 breaks. Then I go f4. Then I go king up. The king is stuck. Then I go f5. And eventually the rook breaks through. My knight, and I'm like seeing this from a distance. I'm like, how does he stop this? He's just completely. He has no way to stop this. Like the knight, everything, he's completely paralyzed. So I'm sitting there thinking for like all this time, trying to make it work, seeing all these possibilities, and I realized he's just lost. He goes a5, I go knight g4, king h7, rook f5, king, and I saw this like from when I played queen f5, I understood this entire concept, and I understood that in this position it's just game over because he's in zugzwang. Like he's genuinely in zugzwang. He has no moves. So I was quite proud of this. He goes b6. Now, okay, I'm a bit under the weather. He goes b6, I go f4, takes, and he's just in zugzwang. He's completely in zugzwang. Like, for example, if he goes here, yeah, I could really be quite sadistic and like bring my king up first, but I can also just go f4. It's like it's completely, it's just game over. So it goes b4, I go f4, take, rook c8, f5, knight g5, I take the bishop. He goes here. Now, okay, he's trying to argue that my rook is trapped, but I just go king up. I go up. Next, I'm going to play c4. Then I'm going to, obviously, the knight can't move. But then eventually I'll take, then I'll come over here, push my pawn, and everything will just come. He goes knight d2, rook d6, knight c4, h6 check, rook d8. Again, I'm just threatening mate. I'm threatening king g5 here, so let's say you take. I go king g5. Even if f6, I just go checkmate. And if you go f6 now, I take here, rook g8, threatening rook g6, rook g7, check, checkmate. So this was a really nice sort of technical game. I was so proud of myself, like to understand from a distance that this endgame that looks quite harmless, you have a really beautiful sort of uh, positional domination, and it's one of my best games of my life. A game that I'm so proud of, and especially to play it against Ivanchuk, who is just a living legend. It was a massive honor for me and something I'll not forget. Um, Ivanchuk is actually playing in Tunisia, so I look forward to playing him again. I'm in awe of him as a chess player in person, very very interesting character. So I cherish every opportunity to play against legends like him. I have not played Kasparov yet. Maybe in an exhibition match or something, I'll get the chance to play against him. But of course, I would have loved to play against Fischer, but unfortunately, that is not possible. Another tournament that I'm considering playing is the Reykjavik Open. um, as you can see, I still have a very bad cough. Sounds like I'm a lifetime smoker, like Mikael Tal. Um, but yeah, this was a really interesting game. This tournament in Zagreb Peace, uh, I wonder if we're gonna cut that out. Sorry, I'm back now. Um, so yeah, Tunisia's coming up. Hopefully, I'm able to play this tournament in Grenke because it's a super strong open, 20,000 euro first prize. So great opportunity. So obviously it's an open tournament. So it'd be quite peculiar if I was unable to participate. It'd be unprecedented, I would say. So thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed day 12 during World Chess Champion. I will see you guys in the next video, and thank you all for following along this amazing journey.